In this section, we will be covering the different type of joins in Tableau. So there are four different type of joins that you can create with your data sets. So you have an inner join, you have left join, right join, and full outer join. So what an inner join is let's suppose that we have two tables in our data set. We have table 1, which contains a field called ID, name, place, and car. The second table that we have is containing ID and salary. So what we are doing is we will be creating an inner join based on two uh, two unique fields, which is ID. So if we were to create an inner join on Tableau, so the data that it would show is the common data, common ID fields between these two data sets is going to be shown in your data. So as you can see, we have ID from 101 to 110, and then in the second table we have 102 to 107. The highlighted fields are the ones that both of these tables have in common. So if you were to create an inner join between these two tables, you're going to see a data set that looks a lot like this right here. So you're going to see Donnie, the name, the place, the car, as shown right here from the first sheet, as well as the common data from the second sheet. So 102, 103, 104 is being displayed over here, and the data along with it. So Tableau is not going to bring in this data since the type of join that we have created is an inner join. In this lecture, we'll be, as we discussed before, the common field between these two tables is the ID field. So if we were to create a left join on these two tables based on the ID field, what we're going to see is all the common data from the left table, so all the data from the left combined with the data from the right. So as you can see, we have 101 to 110 shown. So when we pull these two tables on Tableau and we were to create a left join, what we will see is something like this. So we're gonna see this is the data from table 1 as shown right here. So this is coming from sheet 1, and this is the data that's coming from sheet 2. So everything, what Tableau is going to do is all the fields is going to take all the fields from the left table, and then it's going to join them with the common fields from the right table, but ignore all the ones that are not there. So as you can see, even though that it has brought in data from 102, 103, 104, these three rows, it has ignored 109 and 107. These nulls that you see over here are, this data is not contained in the second table, but it is contained in the first table. So when we created the left join, it brought in everything from the left and combined it with the common fields from the right. In this lecture, we'll be going over the third join type, which is the right join. So let's take the same tables that we have taken from our previous examples. So let's suppose that we connect these two tables based on a common field between them, which was the string, which was the ID column, right? So what I've done is I've highlighted the common fields between these two tables as shown by this yellow highlighting. So as you can see, 102, 103, and 104 are the unique fields between these two tables. And so what a right join is going to do is going to take all the fields from the second table or the right table, and it's going to connect it with the table on the left. So all the fields from here along with the fields that are common between the second table with the first table. So as you can see, all the fields are connected with the second table, and only the fields that the second table had in common with the first table were selected. So fields like 105, 110, and 101, these IDs have been skipped. So this is what a right join is. The fourth type of join is an outer join. In this video, I'll be showing you how an outer join works. So as shown in the previous examples, let's suppose that we have two tables. We have table 1, which contains this information, which contains name, place, and car, and the second table, which contains the salary. And the common field between these two tables was the ID field. So these two tables were linked in Tableau using the ID field. So what I have done to show you as an example is on this table, I have highlighted all the values that both of these tables have in common. So 102, 103, and 104. The way the outer join works is it will take both of the values from both tables and join them together. So as seen in this output from Tableau, once these two tables were connected on the ID field and the outer join option was selected, we saw that in the first table, here are all the values, 101 to 110. And in the second table, all the values from 102 to 107 are shown. The fields that both of these have in common were joined together, but it also joined the fields that neither of these tables have in common. So 107 and 109 on the second table is not there on the first table. Even then, it still joined that table with this table as shown, but the values for the other fields like the name, place, and car, they're null. So this is how an outer join works.